is a place where the architect of the future world meet. We are discussed to gain insight on matters that concern the well-being of our family, community, and nations. Today, our moderators are Kalyan, Hatti, and Hanifa. Our panelist today is Tunisia Ramli, Said Mazagus, Samson Z. I'm Didiati, your host for the day. Well, we'll begin with a welcome opening address by the producer, moderator, Hanifa.
Want to welcome you to is this visionary and holistic school. The first time I have done this was last year. I did this last year when Kalyan invited me to talk about visionary and holistic school. We all know what holistic is, we all know what visionary is, and in our life we continue to stress, or rather we continue to create the opportunity to work together with other parents or other families to bring in the idea of how we can create a better world for our next generation. So in this event, I have invited all the most closest people that I know, and I'm very happy that I've got Kalyan here, who has just come in.
And thank you very much, Hanifa from India here. What we call it as Namaskar, and Namaskar to all the dignitaries here. It is great connecting with you all on this particular eve of event on the visionary and holistic school and taking it global so that we can develop the next gen, which is more holistic, which is futuristic thinking, and which is visionary. And that's the legacy that we folks as a team with leadership of Hanifa at an international level, we could leave on this planet Earth. So as the planet Earth is right now battling with several challenges on peace and invasion and stuff like that, but I think there are also such peace holders and leaders who are coming together and thinking about the futuristic way of developing visionary leaders, visionary schools, visionary community, visionary families. So I congratulate each one of you and thankful for your valuable time, and especially thanks to Hanifa for leading this initiative at a global level. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kalyan Hatti. Glad to see you came to us right in time, which is a very beautiful opening, and welcome us to be part of your journey. So now it's good time for Hanifa to start. Is there any things that you like to begin the question to our panelists?
My idea of a visionary family started with childhood speech, a blog that I started in 2008. And at that time, I wanted to know how a child think or see the world from their eyes. And as a new parent, I have probably no idea of how it works from my childhood. So it took me about 12 years, and I've been thinking about this topic so much that as soon as Kalyan says, we have a visionary and holistic school and we've got this platform, I just went, finally someone thought about doing something, right? So today I want to share with you these questions because it will help us to bring in the insights and views of how you think a visionary family thinks, right? Everyone has the same different version, but what makes you a visionary because of the way you see how your family would want to be. And therefore today we're going to share those insights. So number one, what is your definition of a visionary family? Yeah. So we have, shall we start with Turisina Ramli, and then we go to Zaid, right? Then on your microphone.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity talking on this Visionary School Summit. For myself, definition of visionary family is when we can share with all the family members about where are we now, and then we know where we want to go, and then we decide together what should we do together as a family. So the first point, know where are we now. where do you want to go, and then we decide on the steps to get there. And then maybe it's different between the parents and the children. That's why when we decide on where we want to go, it should be discussed together. That's my definition of visionary family. Thank you.
Brought up a very essential point. Once you know where you want to go, we can discuss it with the family. So taking the lead and bring in your vision by discussing with the family. As simple as it sounds, how do we get started? That is a lot of how most families have issues with in communication. And the next question may be related to this one. What are the character qualities that we can instill in ourselves when we build relationship with our family, a communication? Mr. Zaid?
Thank you, Hanifa, very much. When we talk about characteristics, as far as we are all concerned, there has to be the very first, I would just call it is simply ABCD, to make it easy for everyone. But the first one is we talk about alignment. So people have different characters, people have different behaviors, but in difference of character and behaviors and understanding and wherever that you want to hit, if you're not aligned in certain basic, what you call foundation, that's where the problem is. So what I'm trying to share here is, as long as you are aligned to where I'm going and where is to us in my family would be in the hereafter. As simple as that. We must be aligned that in the hereafter, you and I are safe. We don't go to hell. If we do, a little short while. So it's like, let's help one another. Let's see what we can help from there. Then comes the letter B. Okay, so when we talk about characteristics, the B is belief. So belief is a huge word. I need 4 hours to talk just about belief. So when we talk about simply to make about here in this particular topic of visionary is whether do you my son yeah, can't help it. This one got something wrong with it. Okay, now we talk about beliefs. We talk about you can say, you can share where you want to go, where you want to hit, where you want to achieve, but do you have belief? So we always work and support one another with regards to belief, right? And it's almost impossible for him to tell him that he has COVID right now together with me. We are both positive. He believes that he's be fine. There you see. Okay, this is a fantastic, great example down here. Okay, so that's B. Okay, last one, just so that we can proceed to the next speaker, which is C. Okay, C is confidence. Belief don't come with confidence. A little bit hit on you, a little bit hot on, a little bit hard on, a little bit challenge, and then you lost your belief. It's because no confidence. And simple as that. Okay, so I hope that helps with regards to the characteristics. Back to you, Hanifa.
Thank you. What I've gathered here is that with ABC, alignment, belief, confidence. A lot of children, or a lot of us, we know we have a belief and we create a system of habits, practice, that this is my principles, this is the way I do things, this is how it's going to help me succeed. Then confidence is we start to compromise because the members of the other families are thinking, well, that's your way of doing things, but that's not my way. So the qualities character qualities is, with confidence, you need also to be faithful to your own belief, and faithful without forcing it upon others. Faithful means you'll be resilient and keep showing up to your own call, to your own goals. And slowly they'll start seeing your progress. Thank you. That's a very important insight. Right. The third one is what will inspire support and encouragement for a visionary family. Since we have discussed communication, what are character qualities, but what will inspire this support? What will help us to receive this encouragement for a visionary family? All right, Kalyan, you're in. He raised his hand. Now turn on your mic.
Okay, great. So thank you, Hanifa. So just adding up two things. First and foremost, visionary family to me is a family which has all the health of the family members intact. So all family members are healthy. Second, all the family members are at peace and happy. And the third is that there is enough amount of wealth for all the family members. So health, wealth, and peace and happiness are the four aspects that I would define a visionary family. And everything and anything that we do on this planet Earth is around these. And second, what would it inspire as a visionary family? I think what would inspire as a visionary family is that how could we create a family which has abundance of its health, wealth, and peace? How do we create a family which has excellent relationship with not only the close family members but also the extended family members? And how do we create a relationship where beyond the extended family members, every being is a family member? In Indian mythology, it is called as Vishal Kutumba, which means that entire universe is my family. So how do I look for the well-being of not only my family but all the extended family members of the universe? How do I look at this universe in terms of healthy, well-being, peace? Because in nature, anything you take, everything is abundant. Whether it is food, whether it is mud, whether it is stone, whether it is oxygen, whether it is air, everything is enough and is abundant in quantity. So therefore, if we put one seed in the farmland, we get multiples of that, and that is what is the law of nature. How can we align ourselves to the law of nature? And if we as human beings can align to the law of nature, then that I think would inspire not only my family but the neighbor's family, the surrounding family, the community family, and that I think is if we could look at being self-centered and what we call it as three parts of human beings. There is an animal state in every human being, there is a human state in every human being, and there is a divine state in every human being. So if we could increase our mindfulness and consciousness to move from the animal state to human state to human state to divine state, I think we would be able to create a much more happy and peaceful and a healthy family and life. And that I think would be an inspiring thought to create those families for me, from my perspective.
Thank you. Wow, listening from him, you can see that he is always assembling courage. He's assembling inspiration. We are assembling the divine knowledge into his ecosystem. Because the work that we do is just making sure that we are assembling inspirations along the way. It adds up to the support, encouragement, and strength. And the more people we meet, the more problems that we can solve or help solve, it create the new character qualities in us. Thank you. That was very insightful. My next question, probably I will ask Mr. Sampson. I think Ian was going to speak, but she's not there yet. How can a visionary family contribute to the growth of a community or nation? This is a big question, and probably it has to be put into perspective. Is there anyone here who would like to discuss into maybe in small areas? Thank you. Mr. Sampson, you can come in. Yes.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you to Hanifa and also our host, DDT. Welcome, Zaid, to Risina, and also Kalyan. Thank you so much for joining us from India. Okay, question is, as you mentioned, how can a visionary family contribute to the growth of a community or nation? Of course, as you know, all of us are leaders. But what about the other people who's joining us, our new members? I think first of all is individually we need to contribute regular posts on social media about our journey, about our goals and our dreams as well. Why? So that other people know what we're doing, and hopefully we can also attract the same people of the same mindset to join our journey. So contribute regular posts on social media, be it podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, videos, and also articles freely and volunteering your help, advice, or counseling or services to the needy and the community. Why? Because I think all of us can charge a fee, but most of them cannot pay a certain fee because they probably are struggling and so forth. So I think we need to contribute first, and when the time comes for professionals or corporate companies to see us, and that's where you will charge them for a fee. All right. So first of all, give freely because the knowledge given to us is from the Almighty and the universe, and we have people like in this arena, groups of friends contributing as well. So these are free advice, free information that we can take in. So we should also do our best to give out freely as well and volunteer as much of our services as possible. So that I think is one of the ways that you can contribute to the growth of a community, a nation, or even this group forward. That's what my take is.
Thank you, coming from the heart, okay? Don't be shy. Bring yourself out there. Put aside all your worries and concern. Is anyone's going to listen to me? Is anyone's going to respect me? Just put it aside. Contribute how you can to the growth of the community and nation. That is very ideal. But we are going to do it together, and therefore there is no way you will fail. You only will fail upwards if you do. The next question, okay, is how can we create a family vision with compassion for one another and to the other people outside our family? We've discussed alignment. We have talked about belief, confidence, communication. We are discussing peace, harmony, human being character, qualities, contribution, positive servitude. Now, what about the compassion for one another outside of, because when we are so eager to get to where we want to go, we may forget we are human beings. Okay, so how can we continue to create that family vision with compassion? Is there someone?
You're muted, Hanifa.
Go ahead.
Or who? Me or Kalyan?
Right.
Right. Okay. There's no such thing as a bad dream, but there's such thing as a nightmare.
Now, my daughter, who is in secondary 2, shared with me very recently that she wants to be a zoologist, work with animals. Now, good or is it bad? The problem is in the world, I think everywhere, we always hear a common three occupation. Lawyer, doctor, engineer. Very hardly you hear people say what they call politician. Once in a while. But the point I'm trying to share here is that is it anything wrong of not be a lawyer or not be a doctor or not be an engineer? Once in a while you hear about people becoming a businessman. Now my daughter is the one who woke me up big time. Zoologist. Why? You know? So my reaction woke me up immediately. Something that I would like to share. This is compassion. Immediate smack in the head. Give compassion to her. What she wants, give support. There's no big dream, no small dream, nothing too big for her or nothing too small. Just go for it. Maybe it can change along the way. We don't know. So there will be from there on, she start to realize that if the family is giving and supporting her vision, is as good as my life, because I think Hanifa there, my cousin, she knows among my family members, I'm the one with the least vision. Play the most, enjoy too much in life, and I'm the latest boomer. But in the end, I think she also know I'm the only one that runs my own business for the past 22 years. Alhamdulillah. So it's like learn big time. We don't look down or look up. The question is trying to tell us that sometimes we hear from others, they have their dream, they have their vision. Don't look up on them, don't look down on it. Give some compassion, there's some reason behind it. It's just a new conversation even for me with my daughter here right now to know more why she has a big interest in becoming to work with animals. Yeah, but my son has a bigger vision. Guess what? YouTuber. Scary, huh? Because you watch YouTube, it keep on watching, a lot of people make millions. Okay, I wish him luck, and we don't. The point is, I give him some compassion, let him have fun in whatever that he wants to go after. I hope it helps to answer whoever that's watching with regards with to the word compassion. Yes, Kalyan want to answer that.
Yes, Kalyan. Do you want to chip in?
Thank you, Hanifa. I think great thoughts. Yes, and so I would say that the way you could contribute is three things. Number one is accept each person as is. Be it your son, be it your daughter, be it your wife, be it your neighbor, be it your friends. Accept as is, but never project yourself onto the other person. Each person is unique. Each person has his plus. Each person is minus. So accept as is. That's the first thing. Acceptance. Second is always come from the place of love and care. Hanifa says to me something and I don't like it. And the moment I say I don't like it, my personal self-ego comes into place and I try to defend, I try to argue, I try to put on. I think, then we are not living what we are at heart. So therefore, I think always come from the place of love and care. So the moment I bring my love and care, even if I am not liking the thought, I say, okay, good, so I don't like this. But I think this is the reason why I don't like it, or this is the reason I like it. So that if the way you compare, that develops the compassion. Because love and care is the foundation of a compassion. You can't think of a compassion without love and care. So that's the second point. And the third thing is about that you never drain your ego. You always have an ego. So as we come from the place of the birth and go through several experiences, several people, we develop several beliefs. And for each of the negative belief, we try to oppose them and we create an opposite trait. If I was not appreciated in the school, then I would like to get appreciated. If I was not liked in the school, I would like to get liked. If I did not get a chance to speak, I would like to speak. So I always create a trait which is opposite to my belief, and that becomes my personality. That becomes my personality trait. And the fact and the truth is that personality is never true, and you live your life in a pseudo personality which you are not. And therefore, I think you connect back to your roots and who you are, right? So there is a proverb which says that the truth you fight, are the battles you fight. The truth you resist are the battles you fight. And the biggest truth is about your existential aloneness. That means you as a person came alone and will go alone. That's your aloneness. You are unique. There is never Kalyan in the before. There's never future Kalyan. There is no Hanifa in the before. There's no Hanifa. You are unique once upon a time on this planet Earth, right? So that is the biggest truth, is that it's about your aloneness, and it is in this aloneness you will be able to experience the cosmic energy. So once you connect that with that love, that compassion, you get connected to that cosmic energy, and then it is not you who are doing the work. You become an instrument of the God, of the universal energy which runs this entire universe. Then it is no more the intelligence is finite to your sixth brain, but then it is infinite intelligence which runs the universe, starts flowing through you, and that's how legends are born. That, I think, can be the biggest contribution of creating legends on this planet Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalyan. Again, someone who is always leading will always find themselves being led by their vision. And someone who's always following will find themselves always improving in order for them to start leading. Because there's no leaders, there's no followers. There's always that vision, what's ahead of you and putting behind. And that, what's behind, will be the force that will continue to push you along, right? So we have now time for 2 more questions. The question is, can we create beautiful living spaces for a visionary family to enrich the quality of life? Can we create beautiful living spaces? Reason for this question is, as we enter into these post-pandemic stages, many people, many businesses are still struggling and also trying to find and come to understand, are there still enough space for us to create visionary family?
Okay, I think when we want to have the visionary family, what we should have is love unconditionally for everyone in the family. And then we also have to accept changes, because from time to time, we know that the world is changes and also our family is changed. So that's 2 qualities we should have in our family to have the visionary family. And then number 2, family is the smallest community that we have in the nation. So if we can have a good family vision, and then we can disseminate to other people, then we can create a stronger group, and then we can have a stronger nation as well. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Yes, Duriati, you would like to contribute?
It's such a great question. Can we create a beautiful living space for a visionary family to enrich the quality of life? I'd like to share with you that I came from the veteran family where I have my so-called children when I was 40, 41, and 45, the last one. Okay, so these are the things that I found. Living space for the family is very important. Why? First of all, we as the parents, when we talk about the family, of course, we are the parents. We have to understand our body speaks, because our body speaks our mind. So a healthy body is a house of the healthy mind. What I'm trying to say, if we ourselves, because we want to make a life space for the children, right? We as the parents, we must have a very healthy body and healthy mind. From here, I believe that the education, the status, or whatever you are outside, actually it first came from your family. How you build your family to, as what Tunisia is unconditional care. That is a very internal mind too with our children. When we happy with them, definitely we will have a space for outside. But what I'm trying to say is we have to create awareness to our children first, how we are healthy and how our healthy mind to make it for them to understand that living healthy space is very important in house and in outside world. That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very interesting. When we listen to them, it all boils down to the little things. The mind, the body, the unconditional love. It seems they are the little things. Accepting change, and family is the smallest community in the nation. If you think of it, they're really not big topics. They're closest to our heart, and yet it is the most delicate. And the more delicate it is just a piece of string. It can be broken if we do not know how to work with it. So the living spaces, yes, I can imagine that when you're sitting down and you wear, even, sometimes I ask my husband, did you notice my earring, it dropped out? I didn't even notice. I was just looking at your face, so he never even listened to the little things. Notice I've been looking at my face, and when I lost one earring, he didn't even realize it. Yeah. So thank you for that. And number 7, in the pursuit of quality, value, and standard in a visionary family, how do you nurture long-term bonding in the family? Wow. When I look at this question, it is very scary, because the responsibility of a parent, a caregiver, and a leader, nurturing is the last thing we being taught to do. Nobody create you, or rather your parent didn't raise us to be a nurturing person. It's how we are nurtured, and then we are able to pass it on to others, and that become our character. So when I see as a pursuit of quality, value, standard in a visionary family, can you do that? Can you nurture it into your family? Yeah. So shall I have one of the panelists to answer this question? Okay. In.
Yeah, I think we have to share these 2 qualities. Number 1 is the accept differences. Number 2 is the love unconditionally. So that's we have to keep it as long as possible, because no matter what, we are different. Even mother and daughter is different. So if we cannot accept differences, how we can have the same vision? I think that's 2 quality we should instill in the vision of our family. Thank you.
Thank you. I can hear that she's a very forgiving person. When you accept and you're able to
Love
draw together,
unconditionally.
yes, unconditional, meaning that
Yes.
right or wrong, I'll accept you for who you are. I give you unconditional love, and I will forgive you. And the way our parents have always been forgiving us, and as us as parents to another child, another person, perhaps that's something that we will instill, the quality that we should carry. How about the value and the standard?
Can I share?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with this. Tunisia is definitely the unconditional love is very important. It's a part of it. But when I talk about just now, body and mind, as you see that our body and mind are connected, right? When certain things, all these now we see our children, they are more matured, as what Zaid was sharing. The our children, they have more so-called dreams. They have more visionary what they're going to do next or something like that. We don't have to, but sometimes they tell us what they want to do. Like my child, they already said, "Mom, I already applied the house," which now they are 22. So these are the things that how we react as the parents. The first thing I said, slow down my mind, because you know why? We have to accept them because they are matured. As what I can see now, I'm 62 and my child is 22. If talk about the 22 and 62 is far away, but I make it because when I start having a child, I train my child as the leaders. Yes, they are my child. But if I don't tell leaders to make a decisions, they maybe won't have a dare to make a decision now. So I believe, because I heard from someone who said in this Wagner before, if you know who's that guy, Suhaimi, always talk about the families, all these visionaries, everything. What we have our child now, The result will not come today or tomorrow. It will come 15, 20 years to go. So this is my time, the result that I done 20 years ago. And my child at age of, even though my 16, when they are 16 already, sec 3, they are started to be independent. So now I become more to understand myself and my body. My mind have to slow down to accept their visionary, which is maybe my time. Maybe I started 30 years old. I started to think about housing. Maybe I want to marry. I start about that, but they already plan. They already plan their own so-called the school, what they're going to do next, how they're going to cover up with their financial and then everything. And then now they talk about house, which means they're going to get married soon, in 2 years' time. And the first part in how we as a parents now to really understand and to make our emotion shift to the intellectual, to the emotional state. This is a very important, where we understand last time our parents, we have to be obey with them. We have to listen to them. But now we as the parents, that we have to be a part of them, to support them. To support them in a way that we are more healthier. Healthier in mind, healthier in attitude. That is more important thing I like to share with you. And of course, how you related with them. If you are good related with them, you are related with outside people. It's not about you outside, you are good, you are leaders, you are CEOs, but if you do not have your own related to your own, definitely you are just simply you are. This is what I my experience, that even though I'm just an ordinary, with Samson know how I started before, but I making it more trending for myself. If you are not making trending yourself, there's no way can you be a part of in the world, even though you are sharing in the media. You have nothing much to have, nothing to share. That's for my reason. Thank you. That is how we can have a nurturing long terms together with family and the community.
Thank you, Dee. Passionate and starting with a family. That's how she grew. And we can hear from everyone's the voices is how far you go is how deep you feel about that value for the family. And if we can't go that far, we cannot stretch ourselves further, dig deeper. That's what I gather from what she says. Dig deeper with a family behind you, inshallah, or we may be able to see that the path ahead may be challenging, but you have a why. We have a bigger reason why you have to do it, why they never ask for more, but imagine doing that. With the long-term bonding, I'd like now to ask Mr. Sampson, with your background as an MC, as a host, and what do you see when you go to these wedding ceremonies, holding MCs? Do you feel that energy, the vibe? Is it any different from when before and after? Where's the energy coming from? Or where do you find them the happiest?
I think basically one has to be congruent with yourself. So that means if you are a trainer, then you must love helping and teaching people. So likewise, if you're an MC as well, you love to entertain people. So again, we search ourselves for our passion, and the energy comes from the passion. Even if you're down low, even if you're unequipped, even if you uneducated in any way, you still have that passion. So passion is what drives the anyone. So look into your passion and you find the energy instantly. And also back to question number 7 as well. In the pursuit of quality, value, and standard in a visionary family, how do you nurture long-term bonding in a family? I would say that we assume that personal development must be or has been introduced to the family first, because without personal development, there's nothing. So you must have personal development in your family first, and then you need to hold each other accountable. accountable. You must have a buddy system, be it whether it's a parent and a child, or brother or sister, or even someone in the family and someone outside the family. So to move forward, you need to hold yourself accountable and have a friend to help you as well in your journey. So along the way, you can check each other's goals and journeys and make sure they've reached each other's goal, and you can check the progress from time to time. So buddy up with the person. That's how we can keep ourselves accountable. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier on, personal development must be introduced to all individuals, to family members as well, so everybody's on the same page. And then that's one of the best ways to move forward. Only if you are equipped with personal development. So you must have that, and then have your goals laid out to your friend or partner, and then have them to help you to, measure each other's success along the way. That's one of the ways that you can keep it sustainable and bond at the same time as well. That's my take on question number 7.
Thank you, Samson. That brings me to a phrase in Chinese. Yeah, if you allow me to say, is 内在的力量，外在的内在的那个技巧，然后外在的力量。That means the skills that you have from within and the support from others. So we can get the support from the outside ourselves, because that's personal development comes from within, and then you grow into developing your business or any. So you need the support from others. That's the accountability that we're looking at. And I very much appreciate that part you say about accountability, because it's very hard for us to feel vulnerable in front of our family member. It's hard. We always have to feel strong, look strong, and behave strong. So when we want someone to put into account what you do, why are you doing this, and our brothers and sisters, and we don't want to listen to them sometimes because we seem to know who they are. Then when the journey ends for our parents, we look at each other. Actually, we hardly know one another, or brother or sister. So we don't have to wait till that happens. When our parents leave, when the brothers and sisters need to get to know each other again. We don't have to. If we start from ourselves, we find ourselves speaking with love. One day we meet our brothers or sisters, we'll start be able to continue nurturing that in them as well. So that's a very good. Being vulnerable help us to nurture long-term bonding in the family. Thank you, Samson. I like that insight of you. So we are coming to the end of this session, and we have Mr. Kalyan, who is probably now working with 2 things at one point. And he just sent me a photo of like he's in front of hundreds of people at the moment in India. Yeah, he travels a lot. I'd like to thank all of you for coming for this session, and definitely would like to see you guys again for the following vision for the rest of the